very much for staying tuned into 95 point. Okay, where are we getting that fallback sound from? You could hear it yourself, right? Can you still hear it? It's a little better, but still there. Okay. Apologies for some of the hiccups we'll be getting all through today. I'm sure the billionaire has done a good job of apologizing on our behalf, but to assure you that we're doing a lot of work in the studio to just improve the quality of our sound, and I don't want to bet my paycheck on it, but by tomorrow it will be crystal clear. Billionaire agrees, just in case the betting part comes in. You can take the check off of him.
No problem, I'll send my PA to
All right, Abuja, thank you so much for staying tuned into your passionate, trustworthy, and conversational radio, 95.1 Nigeria Info. And I feel we're going to apologize and go through today until we fix the problem. But the show must go on. And a lot of people will be wondering why the billionaire is here. Well, we have the team I Beg to Differ, albeit incomplete, with us in the studio. And we want to take our time to do a quick recap of the I Beg to Differ so far, now that we're out of the rounds of 16 and we're getting into the quarterfinals, to just let you know what to expect from next week and how it's played out so far in our round of 16. I've got the billionaire here.
Good afternoon, Kim, the Oracle, the fellow Madam Speaker herself, and of course, we beg to differ that Somi is here.
She didn't see that coming
at all.
It feels like the conversation is going to be debate-like for all of us.
Yes, it's going to happen because Somi will push us to that point.
Wow. I will not take debates. Good afternoon, Abuja, and welcome to the review of I Beg to Differ.
Yes. Now, if you remember, season 1, we had moments where we had the recap and review and talks just before we get into the next round of the season. It's been a roller coaster ride. I mean, last year we did the round of 16. Round of 32 just came because we had impressive number of entries, and so we had so many people, and then we're like, who, what, how, and all of that. So we need to bring as many people out to the playing field and then filter from that point on to see if we can get the quality material we're looking at. Because guys, we say we're going to put our best. The idea is for Abuja to stand out in Lagos. We did well last year. It was so impressive. Lagos will remember Abuja thanks to Excel or Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa Maitama. However, we want to make a full statement this time around with the quality of debaters we sent to Lagos.
Okay. I mean, just looking at the message here, Sukri says, Kim, your mic is off. Is that true?
For real? You can't hear me even now.
True.
Well, let's get feedback from you. If it's distorted or you can barely hear, also it's not clear, please give us that feedback, okay? Because we're doing a lot of work in the studio and it's technical. We wouldn't know how bad it is if you don't let us know.
Okay, so I think we'll just go on and hopefully get that feedback.
Okay.
To know where we are at the moment.
The billionaire, don't you?
Welcome back.
I should do it.
You should move. You might be the one distorting her mic.
Okay, I agree.
There's just a hollow sound that I can hear from all of us when we speak. So it's there.
Okay, so Kim, can you hear yourself?
Yes, I can.
Okay. If you can hear
I can't hear you, the billionaire.
No, I've muted myself.
Okay.
Okay. It's not clear from my end, though not sweet.
It's clear from my end, she said.
From my end, though not sweet. Okay. We need to know if you can hear Kim. We can hear you clearly, Kim. Perfect. It's better now. Okay. It's loud and clear. Oh, good. Okay, so that's fine.
All right, so I have turned your mic back
Can
on.
you guys hear me? If you can hear,
No.
okay, you should be able to hear me because I see my meter is moving.
No, I see the feedback. Can you hear it? The billionaire. Yes.
Okay.
So we're good then. All right, we're still working on it. I promise you'll be better in a few hours when we sort this one out. Kim, only your mic is distorted. Ah, I see. Okie dokie. I feel like we'll do this for the next hour until this work is done. But let's get into it. We're here for the review of I Beg to Differ Season 2. We're done with the round of 16 and we've had incredible number of participants and 10 of them have scaled through. Somi, do you have the list of those shortlisted for the next round of quarterfinals?
Yes, I do. In no particular order, we have Abu Francis Helen Ebo, who made it through to the quarterfinals. We also have Anthony Oluwadamilola Favor. We have Benjamin Jubilee Unyogba. We also have Deborah Malachi. And then Ahmed Tijani Khalid, who came as a wild card from the round of 32. He sustained going into the quarterfinals. We also have Omale Ejile Christine, also a wild card from the round of 32. We also have Peter Favor Ufedo, Joseph Majesty Ojochekbe, Chikeze Onyechuku Paula, and the last person who is coming to join the 9 winners as the 10th person is Chikwere Masi Ruth.
All right, so Chikwere is joining as the 10th person. She's our wild card, and quite a number of people agreed that debate was electric. It was so impressive. A lot of people were thrilled by the energy the both of them exuded in the studio. It felt like what a debate truly should be. And so we look forward to seeing what she'll bring. And now that she's getting into the quarterfinals. So just before we explain how the quarterfinals is going to play out, let's first appreciate our sponsors. We've had incredible support all through season 2 of the debate. And Hamzat Lawal, the CEO of Connected Development, the founder, Follow the Money, has been one strong supporter of... I'm trying to get something out there. Okay. He's a Malala Fund education champion, working with partners to ensure the reduction of the number of out-of-school children while prioritizing education for all, particularly girls. And he's giving us the prize money. So it's going to be 1 million naira for the winner at the end of the debate. And it's going to come from Hamzat Lawal. We also have Infinity Trust Mortgage Bank. And Infinity Trust Mortgage Bank has been doing, quite a lot in trying to ensure that they create shelter and wealth, and they've been doing this for 20 years. They've got presence in places like Abuja, Nasarawa, Kaduna, Lagos, and they've decided, you know what, we will give the second place prize money, which would go to the first runner-up is second place.
First runner-up, yes.
Yeah. And 313 Bureau de Change will be given the third place prize money of 250,000 naira. So it's going to be 1,500,000, 250,000 naira. And we've been getting quite a number of consolation prizes also.
Yes.
Happiness Computers have decided they're going to support us with computers. I would get the fact of the number of computers we're dealing with in a bit. Collier Angel Nigeria Limited in Banex, then is it old or new Banex?
Old Banex.
Old Banex in Wuse
New
2.
Banex.
Old and new Banex, I think. They have the both of them. Also our partners, and they have given consolation prizes of telephones. We've been handing out the telephones, haven't we?
Oh, yes.
Yes, we have.
Yes. We've handed out about 9 of them now.
Those who lost out in the round of 16.
Yes.
And we had more than 16 in the round of 16, actually. We got about, is it 20 or 22?
The round of 16, 18.
18, all right. So we got about 18 in the round of 16. So we've handed out to half of those who stepped out of the race at that point in time. And we've had a return. 3J's Hotels and Apartment. They supported us in season 1. They were bringing some delicious meals for our debaters, their coaches, their teachers, the judges, and the likes. And we truly do appreciate them. Creative Fingers, Cakes and Bites in Life Camp also have been ensuring that we get all kinds of pastries sent in for the debaters, the judges, and coaches to get something to go home with. Number 1 restaurant also, number 1 hotel, I beg your pardon. Number One Hotel also has been a partner on this with the drinks and even more stuff, pastries for the young debaters and the coaches and everyone in the house. So we say a big thank you to all our partners and the judges. I mean, maybe Somi, you speak about the judges at this point in time, because the reason why I feel a lot of people have not had a reason to call us out a lot, even though some people, there was one particular episode, they're like, oh no, Nifemi, this one, I like, calm down. We have these people as our judges.
And it just sort of...
Yeah, calm the whole nerve down.
Our judges honestly have been a huge contribution to this debate. Sometimes when you see the deliberations going on in the green room, you would know that, if you got to experience it, you would know that...
You're usually in the green room with
yes,
them.
that's what I'm saying. So
BTS,
when you see the deliberations going on, you just know that they're making sure that they're trying to ensure that the best person goes through. And it's not a thing of, oh, what did you score? Then they're trying to... You would just know that there's a sense of unity in the criteria, how they're looking at the criteria. Okay, how did this person present? Did this person really level up? When it comes to the opening rebuttals, I think part of the issues that I think our contestants usually have is when it comes to rebuttals. If you check it, a lot of the time, it's either they're not rebutting properly. That one is a major thing. So on that one, you will always see that when this judge says, oh, this is it, and then by the time you look at the collation, you say, okay, yes, that means everybody really agreed that this person probably didn't rebut properly. Then also when it comes to presentation as well, I think those are the two key areas, but they are always very, very keen, making sure to listen into the arguments and making sure that they get the best possible scores put forward, depending on how each participant did.
Indeed. And, we know Majid Dahiru, researcher, columnist, is here. We know Irene Bangwell, founder of North Conrad Naira School in Kuje. Fidel Castro also as being in that green room from the start to ensuring that people don't question our integrity in terms of it, because money is involved, guys. When you're saying that you're giving money out, it becomes you should know.
I mean, I know that a lot of people even have their own score sheets in their homes.
Yes.
As it's going, you say, okay, this person 2, that person 2, and they will come and argue online. I mean, we had one of the debates where after the debate, Kim was on the call for like 15 minutes, only to discover that was someone who also listened, who's concerned. I mean, who's happy with the show to say, no, I think this was this, and the person says, oh, who are those judging? Oh, Majid is there. Oh, okay, that's right.
Honest to God, the minute I mentioned the judges, the argument ended.
It ended.
All right. These people you've mentioned, we can't fault them. I can't fault this man. So he wants to believe. And that's why it matters to us. Remember when we did the national in Lagos, a lot of people were like, oh, we don't know these people, blah, blah, blah. They had to also hold a meeting in Lagos to say, okay, we need to do better by, how we put the numbers together. I'm not saying they did anything wrong, but I'm saying they also put that into consideration. So it's a good thing that we have capable hands in the green room putting the numbers together. So we have 10. They're going into a round that should be for 8 people. How did we get to 10? But Sahel, explain this one.
Isn't that why we're calling it the quarterfinals? Exactly. But Sahel, please, by all means, explain on our behalf.
We will call it the quarterfinals. It's not round of 8, it's a quarterfinal. Because we have 10 people. We're going to have 5 different sets of debate. We're going to have 2 of them on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday, right? And then on Thursday, there might be a playoff.
2 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday. Yes.
And then on Thursday.
Wednesday, and then Thursday might be the playoff.
Might be the playoff.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people will be curious as to what this playoff means, because we have 10. And we need to proceed with 4
into the semis,
and 2 at the finals. Would find a way to eliminate one person from the top 5. And it's going to be on you guys. You listening right now would help us do that. So we resolved that we're going to have these 5 after next week, and the 2 weakest numbers, because we're going to work with the numbers at the end of the day. So the 2 lowest numbers would have to slug it out for one person to get into the top 4. We're talking about this now because we want you to know what to expect. It'll be slightly different from how we did it last year, and we don't want people calling and like, oh, but it's not how you did it. I remember one of the tutors from the student last year were like, well, last year you start with one person in the opening and then the rebuttal, then this one, but change it back. We're like, no, we can change the rules anytime we please, but we give you a heads up that this is what to expect. We're not going to change it halfway in between. But the fact that we played it one way in the season 1 does not automatically mean that word for word, number by number, that's how it's going to be in the season 2. So we're presenting what season 2 is going to look like when we get into the quarterfinals. That we have 10 of them. 5 would come down to the semifinals.
Yes.
And the semifinals need to be 4. So we need to eliminate 1. And that elimination process is the reason why the Council of Elders are seated here in the studio.
So yes, I mean, there's a brilliant way that we're going to go about it, and of course, we don't want anybody to be left out. Looking at the kind of intelligence that these children bring into the debate, I mean, you also can feel their energy and the intelligence they bring on board on each of the topics they are being given to debate. And then, in the wisdom of the team, instead of dropping one person on the score line, which would have been the best way to go about it.
If we do get a clear-cut marginal difference, we can do that.
Yeah, exactly. But if not, I mean, what we'll do is the 2 lowest mark for that round. The 2 lowest mark for that round.
If they're close.
Yes, if they are very close. If the both of them are in their 40s, makes it perfect. Anybody from 50 above is not in that score line. But once you're in, of course, you also know in your different schools that 40 is pass, right? In some schools, even 45. If you're in 40, it's already F9. So for those in the range of 40 to 49 or 49 and a half, they're going to do a playoff, which will happen live in the studio. And that playoff is not going to be a debatable topic. It's going to be a total presentation. Yes. Each person will have a minimum of 5 minutes to present. And then you, the listener, you who have been following the season 2, you get the whooping authority to vote for the one you feel is the best. So would rely on your sincerity, would rely on your voting skills to ensure that we have one person who moves to the final from the 2.
Yeah. And the votes, how are they going to be live?
Oh yes.
Or is it going to be on the poll like we did during the week with the debates? Is it going to be people calling in to vote?
So what do you think? We were thinking we're going to take opinion polls on X, we're going to put up one on YouTube and then take live, but people can decide.
Yes.
Because we're doing this for transparency and accountability, money's involved, so that people don't feel, I mean, there are parents who've sent in messages, oh, wouldn't this happen? But did you compute diction? I'm like, we did. I've had 2 parents say, I don't think you computed diction for this person. Like, I assure you that diction was added to this point. And I even had to go back to getting the number for diction for them. So people are very particular. They need to.
In fact, just to add to what the oracle said, not a lot of you know why we have a diction judge and what it is even for us to have a diction judge.
It's custom.
Yes, it's because we want our people to totally represent us without no form of surprise. And why we say no form of surprise is that what happens here is the same thing you are going to meet
when you get to Lagos
or national. So that's why we needed the diction judge. We got the diction judge. Listen, and that's why we also allow only the diction judge to correct tenses and pronunciation on air after the host have talked about how the debate went, waiting for the judges to bring to send in their numbers. So it's important that we also know that everything you see that we do, there is no fluke in it. It is well planned, well tailored to ensure that in the best interest, because once the debaters leave Abuja, it ceases to be a school thing. It becomes a state
a regional thing.
It becomes a regional thing. These are the people that not Kim, not Itodo, not Effizy and Somi in the green room or Dr. Majid. It becomes our collective effort. It means that all of you who voted, who are listening, who are watching via YouTube, Facebook, or doing your polls on X, it means we have all agreed that these are the people who are representing the Federal Capital Territory in Lagos for that nationals.
I mean, while we're speaking on the importance of dictionary, remember, going into conversations with a number of people, and like, this dictionary people are even doing safe. You are just getting them to speak funny. It doesn't really matter. It shouldn't count. No, it counts. It counts. And for the parents, the wards, the tutors, and the students, if they're listening right now, you want to take those corrections very seriously.
Oh, they have.
Because when it gets to the nationals,
that some of them, when they came back for the round of 16, one of them is just my opponent.
Because all those things count. It could be the difference between your winning and your losing when you get to the national. So yes, indeed, the diction judge is important. It's costing us, like we said, and we make sure to compete every single score.
Indeed. Now somebody is asking on YouTube, did you just delete, or did I see with the votes influence the judges' outcome? Now, the vote part we're talking about is if we do not get a clear difference in the score line when we get our 5 and they have to face off, you will be the one to decide, because we're going to make it open based on your voting. It's not going to be about the judges. You will decide who gets to the top 4. That one person, because we have 2 people and one of them needs to join the top 4. But just to let you know that all 5 of them will be qualified to represent the federal capital in Lagos. Yes. Did I let the cat out of the bag? It's 5 now.
Sort of.
See, after the quarterfinals, the 5 we getting into the semis will all qualify for Lagos. 5 of them will be in Lagos. So rest assured, that's something good. However, we can only have 4 of them getting to the semi-finals. So one of them will have to step down. But we don't want to be the ones to be the cruellas to say, hey, your score. So it's going to be, if the score line is, if the 4 people get 50s and one of them gets a 40,
it just
automatically out.
Yeah.
However, if we now get to see
2 persons
within the 40s or 3, we get the 2 lowest, and they'll have to slug out their place to get into the top 4, which will take us to the semi and then the finals at the end of the day. Let's not forget, 1,500,250. The 4th place person does not even get anything, so it's as good as a fit person. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Actually.
It's as good as the 5th person, because they're all going to be in Lagos to represent the FCT. So it's just a place filler at the end of
bragging rights is what you get.
Right.
Yeah, bragging rights.
Nobody remembers number 4.
I was there.
But yeah, I'm excited about what it's going to be next week, honestly. And just to refresh our memories, we're just going to do quick. How many minutes can we take? Maybe 2 minutes each of them to just remind you of what the debaters sound like. And let's take from, who do we have here?
That should be Abu Francis.
Okay, Abu Francis. Let's listen to Abu Francis a bit. She's qualified to get to the quarterfinals, and we'll just get a feel of what she sounds like.
Thomas Sankara once said, self-reliance and self-sufficiency is the greatest form of freedom you can have in Nigeria today.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
Nigeria can develop without Nigerian loans. To begin with, Nigeria possesses vast natural resources, from the 200 trillion cubic feet of natural gas down to the 27 trillion barrels of oil. Nigeria is loaded, and proper management, we can be able to make sure that we develop our nation in safe hands. Furthermore, Nigeria's agricultural sector contributes more than 25% to our GDP, employing more than 70% of Nigeria's population. Did you know that the Anchor's Borers program has boosted rice production, ensuring to reduce importation of rice by 90%, demonstrating the effectiveness of domestic revenue? Moreover, the tech industry in Nigeria today has greatly improved improved as it contributes more than $1.2 billion to Nigeria's GDP, making Lagos Africa's top tech hub. Companies like Flutterwave and Paystack is contributing to innovation and entrepreneurship, showing the world that they can drive development without foreign loans. Most importantly, according to the World Bank, Nigeria's saving rate stands at 70% of our GDP, as companies and organizations like the Nigerian Pension Fund saves more than 15 trillion naira in assets, and our banking sector saves more than 40 trillion naira in deposits. With all these savings, we can use it to fund our infrastructure and better Nigeria.
All right, so that is Abu Francis Helling, 15 from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa Maitama, qualified to get to the quarterfinals.
I mean, you can hear the young lady went as far back as President Goodluck Jonathan's one of his initiatives, the Anchor Boroughs. Talking about the Buhari-led administration, the Anchor Borough program from former Vice President Yemi Oshibanjo. Where a lot of people said governance is not about going into the marketplace and giving market women money.
Another thing I believe that we had a lot from the round of 16, or what we called our round of 16, is these students were dropping facts.
Because we were
dropping
them.
So yes, I remember.
Yes.
I remember someone doing the fact checking.
I was fact checking.
Yes. So they were dropping some serious. You could tell that they really went in and did research that I don't even know if I could have done at that age.
Well, if you're gunning for 1 million, I promise
you will do it.
So we have someone else, Anthony Oluwadamilola Favor, 15, also from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa Maitama. We actually had a lot of entry from Piakasa and then followed by Tungamaje. So a lot of people at one point felt it was a Piakasa Tungamaje situation, and they actually have quite a number more who have come into the quarterfinals also. So brace yourself, people.
Nepa. Richmond, bring the torchlight and boom, up Nepa. With this, I bid a good day to my lovely judges, beautiful moderator, accurate timekeeper, and our amazing audience. My name is Anthony Oluwadamela of the renowned Government Science Secondary School, Maitam, and today I stand to support the motion that says corruption is the biggest obstacle to stable electricity in Nigeria. With the following points, I start to argue. Firstly, corruption diverts funds for power projects. From the year 1999 to 2007, Nigeria spent over 16 billion naira on the power project, but yet, guess what? We still remain in darkness. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo called this a colossal waste of time, and after that, cited it on the widespread of corruption and mismanagement. Moving on to ghosted workers and payroll fraud. Do you know that we have spent over 10 billion naira on these so-called people that we don't know where they work? That is unimaginable. Moving on to inflated contracts and kickbacks. Nigeria has said to have been awarding contracts to shady deals of people that makes us think that we are doing something great, whereas we are not. Take, for instance, the REA, Rural Electricity Agency, was found to be in a scandal in the year 2021 of a 1.2 billion naira scandal that took away most of our management properties. Moving on to poor maintenance. Nigeria lost over 40% of its interest over the point of getting.
All right, so that is Damilola also getting to the quarterfinals, and we have who else got to the quarterfinal? Benjamin Jubilee.
Yes, from Government Science Secondary School, Tungamaje.
Yeah, let's see if we have Benjamin here. Yes, we do. Just listen to him a bit.
Privatizing them will benefit the nation more abundantly because, firstly, it will reduce financial burden on the government, freeing up resources for critical sectors like education and healthcare. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) reported an alarming 1.48 trillion naira spent on refinery operation and maintenance. And this is a financial burden which could only be alleviated through privatization. Also, increased production costs. We can see that most of the refineries now in Nigeria are owned by government. So we see that the production cost is significantly higher in Nigeria than in other countries. For example, in 2020, the production cost of petroleum in Nigeria was 233 naira compared to 145 naira in Ghana. But private companies are often efficient and productive than government-owned entities, and this can lead to better management of resources. More so, reduce corruption and mismanagement.
All right, that is Benjamin. And Benjamin, we have this inside joke about his half mark. Benjamin just has this, I don't know, he has this way of beating his opponent by half a
mark.
But half a mark is not going to cut it, Benjamin. So if that's your strategy, not in the quarterfinals.
Because nearly never kills anyone.
No.
I mean,
And
he went up against Ahmed. Yes, he went up against Ahmed Tijani and then got by on half a mark. I remember the conversation. I think when the debate ended, Ahmed literally walked up to him and shook him and said, "Congratulations on your half mark."
All right, so Benjamin Jubilee, I hope that you do a whole lot better than half mark, because like we spelt out, the stakes are higher this time around, and the bottom two would have to slug it out. So let's hope you don't sit there. But who else? Deborah Malachi, Government Science Secondary School, Tungamaje.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear out a bit.
Producing a large workforce, diverse talent pool, and a vibrant culture. As a well-brought-up African child, I must give honor to honor is due. Good morning, the chairman, panel of judges, timekeeper, co-debaters, listeners, and viewers. My name is Malachi Deborah from Government Science Secondary School, Tungamaji, and I'm here to oppose the motion which states Nigeria's large population is a burden. Of course not. Nigeria is known for its overabundant natural resources. In fact, we are ranked as the giant of Africa, in case you don't know. So Nigeria's large population is not a burden. Firstly, it increases and improves our thriving tech industry. It improves our thriving tech industry. Nigeria is ranked as the second largest tech industry in Africa. And of course, it has been driven by the large population of our tech-savvy production youth, able to grow and improve our country. So a large workforce really helps our country and makes our economy stabilized. Also, Nollywood and creative entertainment.
All right, Deborah is 16 from Tungamaje Government Science Secondary School, Tungamaje, and we'll get to see how she performs in the quarterfinals. Khalid is the next person who we'll talk about. Khalid came in as a wild card.
Yes. From the round of 32.
And I think it's one of those wild cards that came and then proved his point and stood his feet to say, I deserve that second chance and I'm about to take it to the next level.
Let's see if he will.
As a matter of fact, I got people who called and like, oh, Khalid and Nifemi, I thought this, I thought that, I thought this, I thought that. And like, go listen to the playbacks and listen to their points, listen to their eloquence, their confidence and all of that. Because it's not just about what you think it is. We've spelled out a series of criteria that we factor in for the judges. So you can't just be, oh, but I thought they had more points here. That's not what we look at quite a lot. So Khalid, from a wild card who was unprepared when he came in the round of 32, has stamped his name as one who qualifies to, fight for that 1 million naira. Well, let's hear him out a bit.
Reliant on this finite resource called crude oil. But with evolving global economies and the pressing need for diversification, Nigeria can lead the charge towards a future of sustained economic independence. Good day, distinguished judges, accurate timekeeper, esteemed co-debater, and honorable members of the audience. I'm by name Ahmed Tijani Khalid, a student of Scholars Land Academy, and I am here to expound that Nigeria's economy can thrive without crude oil. To start with, Nigeria is naturally blessed with a wealth of resources. One such cornerstone is agriculture, which has the potential of economic driver. Historically, agriculture has been an economy. I think over 60% of the we are a producer of coal, cassava, and rope. You know what it means? It means if Valley Hannes can try without crude oil, by investing the agriculture sector and particularly in the affections, Nigeria can unlock
all right, I don't know. Did that happen during the stream? People who were listening from home, did we get that? I must have missed it. But Khalid 15 is from Scholars Land Academy. And then we have, who else?
Omale Ejile Christine.
Omale Ejile Christine.
Yes.
All right. From what school?
Omale is from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa. She also came in as a wild card from the round of 32.
She came into me like a tornado. Because I remember her performance in the round of 32. She was a bit docile and all of that. And then it felt like the minute she got this second chance, she thought, you know what? I'll show them. And she sure showed us. She came with so much fire, so much energy.
So much.
And really interesting. So let's get to hear her a bit.
My worthy opponents, ladies and gentlemen, I am Omala Christian from the prestigious Government Science Secondary School Maitama, here to oppose the motion which states that Nigeria is doing enough to combat climate change. Here are my points to give credit to this discourse. First of all, on the funds, Nigeria only invests 1% of its annual budget to climate projects, unlike the 15% that has been advised by the American Union. Underfinancing these projects cripples Nigeria's capability to fight climate change. Furthermore, gas fares. Do you know that Nigeria still remains the 7th country that has the largest flare? While the Nigerian gas flare commercialization project catches dust, where is the urgency? Where is the change? We are contributing to carbon emissions globally, which is not good. Moving on, over reliance. The $20 billion Dangote refinery prioritize fossil fuels than renewables. This has contributed to many disasters like carbon emissions, greenhouse gases, degraded lands, which is not good. Countries like Somalia and Saudi Arabia that venture into renewables are moving forward, whereas Nigeria clings to it like a drunkard to its bottle. Furthermore, production of waste. Nigeria produces an amount of 32 billion waste. How? That is insane. Why would our country produce that?
Did she just liken us with a drunkard with a bottle?
If punchlines could win debates, some of these children, they brought the punchlines.
Oh, yeah.
To the point I was like, is this they should calm down. It's just a debate. It's like they were going for the jugulars of their opponents.
Yes, and just to also
I'm glad that he's rubbing off on all of us.
Oh yes.
Because God forbid that the diction judge is telling my opponent, and you're like, I see the opponent. I mean, someone had to draw my attention to return back, and it's something I just say often. And then the diction judge had pointed out one time and said, "Oh, tautology, don't say this one with this one." And then I kept saying, "Oh, you return back, right?" Like, are you listening to the audition?
And yeah, I mean, the data she actually quoted there was from the Climate Policy Initiative 2022, where it also states that it will represent 1% of the national GDP, which the amount is equivalent to $2.3 billion US.
Wow. Just
to let us know how much we invest in climate change.
We fact check these guys, and they have done their research. So someone, I remember, I think it was in the round of 32, we got someone who said, oh, you know, when they say this, they should be able to tell us their source is 14th December 2025 newspaper, like
But this one is very close. I mean, it's 2024, I think, what month? October 2024, and it was a PDF document that was put out, full report, so she lifted it from there.
So, which I think is actually brilliant. You know, part of what happens with these debates is that it makes even you, the listener, who's some 20, 30, in some cases 40, 50 years old, be like, oh, that happened. And then you go back and then you refresh your memory and you're like, oh, wow. It just brings it into better focus for you. So we're all learning.
Indeed.
In one way or the other.
Indeed. So, who else do we have? Peter Favor Ofedo, also from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa, Maitama. Christian that we listened to was also, is also from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa, Maitama. So let's hear another Maitama.
Hospital staff and youths flee. Let's ignite renewables. Progress sustained, not subsidized. With this, I bid a good day to my esteemed judges, moderator, accurate timekeeper, co-debater, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Favor Peter from the renowned Government Science Secondary School, Maitama. And today, the position of the motion that says government should reintroduce petrol subsidies. To begin, subsidies are a fiscal time bomb. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has showed that subsidies are a fiscal time bomb. Nigeria spent a staggering 4 trillion naira on petrol subsidies, and this is equivalent to 24% of the national budget. Reintroducing subsidies will only plunge our economy into deeper debt, crippling our ability to fund essential services like healthcare and education. Furthermore, subsidies Subsidies are a corruption magnet. The petrol subsidy regime is a cesspool of corruption. And according to the Nigeria Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative, 1.7 trillion was siphoned due to subsidy fraud between 2015 to 2018. Furthermore, subsidy deregulation drives investment and innovation. The removal of subsidy led to private sector participation in the downstream oil industry, and we have seen that the Dangote refinery...
All right, so referring to a native report that was put out there to telling you how much we've been drained by subsidy in the country. That is Peter Favor Ufedo, 14 from Government Science Secondary School, Maitama. And then we have Joseph Majesty or George Chegbe. I thought their set of debate was amazing. And for me, it was the best. That set was like amazing, incredible, really.
They gave us a show and they gave us a good
you know why I knew it was good? Because people comment on socials were like, you know what? I don't like the idea of paying more,
but I agree.
I agree.
So at this point, I believe they have been able to convince me, confuse me and convince me at the same time.
We got WhatsApp messages also saying like, no. As much as I don't want this, I agree with his argument. Like it does make sense. We don't need to suffocate businesses, even though. So it was really a good debate. So let's hear them. And as a matter of fact, his opponent is the one we're bringing back as our white card.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So that is
Chikwe Masiru.
Yeah, so we get to listen to the both of them.
And I'll be supporting the motion.
Okay.
My name is Chikwe Masiru and I beg to differ.
All right. Are you both happy with this? Until the closing, give
outdated pricing. If we truly require a better connected Nigeria, then we must be willing to pay for it. Good afternoon, the moderator, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debater, and the audience. My name is Joseph Majesty Chegbe from Government Day Secondary School, Karo. I'm here to propose the motion that says telecom tariff hike in Nigeria are needed for better service. Telecom companies have been drowning in rising costs. The cost of these are needed to fuel over 35,000 base stations across the country has skyrocketed by more than 200% over the last 2 years. The depreciation of the naira has made importing telecom equipment almost unaffordable. Some operators have even resorted to shutting down cell towers simply because they can't afford to keep them running. Without a tariff adjustment, how can telecom companies survive, yet alone improve their services as we demand? You let us comply to a tariff adjustment if we truly require better services. Furthermore, the Nigeria Communication Commission recently approved a 50% increase in telecommunication tariff, which was later reduced to 35% following negotiations with the Nigerian Labour Congress. Some still argue that the price of telecom services is still too high, but MTN released a report through its Chief Corporate Service and Sustainability Officer, Tope Okigbo, that many companies in Nigeria had to take large loans to keep serving their customers. He noted that MTN, one of the country's biggest companies, has suffered massive losses and lost shareholder funds because of economic hardship. Therefore, we must comply with telecom tariff increase if we truly require better service. But opponent, I asked, today, in the rural areas, we see millions of...
The guy says we must comply. He wants to program us to comply.
What's going on, man?
Do you know what it means? This tiny little boy wants to program all the adults. He has not earned a paycheck in his life, but he says you must comply.
No, but Kim, I would give it to him because for a long time, the CEO of the network with the yellow color has been trying to make Nigerians understand how much they need to increase telecom tariff, especially on their end. Who is also saying if that doesn't happen, they might as well just fold up and go. I think that man should have listened to this debate, and this boy has done a better job for him. So
explaining why.
Yes, I think anytime he wants to explain this to the NCC or the honorable,
like a spy, like they paid him to come and convince us why.
If he wants to explain to the honorable Minister of Information, he should go with this clip and just play it to the honorable minister, and that's all. Just say that's all. That's my final submission.
So it's interesting that we're going to play his opponents because you literally listen to him and you're like, oh, it makes sense. Then you listen to her and you be like, but this one too makes sense.
Yeah.
That is how brilliant they were at debating their points, and we want to see that kind of energy going, I think, into the quarterfinals, where they're doing such a good job of it that even you. Because I remember I've sat with Kim and discussed this tariff hike, and she's like, I can't afford a penny more.
Exactly.
But yeah, they were convincing you, weren't they?
Yeah, he was really convincing.
Yeah.
Because I started thinking on, from the perspective of the business owners, to think the struggle that it must be. And then when he said, are we not in this together? Reminded you that these people are also doing business in this environment where inflation has gone up, the price of petrol has gone up. We know how they power their mast and all of that. He said, have
it touched your conscience.
At that point, you're like,
have you no conscience?
Is it that I've been wicked since? I've been questioning your moral choices and life choices.
Well, let's listen to his opponent, who also did a great job.
Inflationary rate, because increased costs are passed on to consumers. Do you know that Nigerian inflation rate surged from 29.9% to 34.6% just in 2024? Imagine what will happen in 2025 to 2030. More so, negative impact on businesses. Tariff hikes can have a negative impact on businesses, most especially small and medium-scale enterprises, which we think we increase this tariff in order to boost economic growth. Tariff hike will only worsen the economic situation faced by many Nigerians and should not be increased. More so, reduce economic growth. Tariff hike will lead to an increase in economic growth. Do you know that tariff hike in present Nigeria simply means that Nigerians need to cut off from a lot of basic amenities needed for our growth? Firstly, we need to cut off from food, school expenditures, education, and a lot more, just to improve telecommunication service. And you still think this tariff should be increased? More so, impact on financial inclusion. It do baffles me.
The muscle queen.
And then, but she made a very serious point there to also say financial inclusion, which has been a conversation long going. I mean, a lot of CBN policy and also the Minister for Trade and Investment. I mean, they've been talking about small scale enterprises. How do they do their business? What's the sustainability plan? If you look at it, and a lot of them also depend on the telecommunication gadgets to ensure that their business goes very well. And you just want to look at it. And then she went on to also make you do that self-evaluation of how much you are spending. It says you might have to cut down your food.
But you know, the truth is people have to cut down. I remember when with the cable TV, and is it that you're going low on your bouquet or your sacrifice? There's an opportunity cost at that point in time. Something has to give.
Something has to
give.
So
it's just a reminder from the little miss that something must go for you to be able to afford that seamless telecom service that you want.
And then the figures she went on. It was I think she was very deliberate. She wanted to drive a pain into our hearts. Because she started from 2024 looking at MBS, also speaking about the inflation percentage, 19 to 30 something, and then she cast our mind for a short term, 2025 to 2030, which is in business, which is short term because it's 5 years. And then you want to look at it that if you arrive at 36% inflation in 2024, where will you be going with the same tenacity in 2030?
I'm just looking and thinking how they've made us really spend time deliberating on the points that they raised because of how they did it.
Which tells you that it was a brilliant research and debate at the end of the day. And then the 10th person who joins the quarterfinal is Chikezie Onyechukwu Paula. Chikezie faced off with someone who is the same age with her, the same school with her, and at that point, someone described it like she carried her opponent up, then slammed it. It was as if, even though we're from the same school.
And then again, I think a trick happened. I think the other debater was also looking at it that it's from the same school.
No, he was a bit chill. He was putting out his point. He was mashing out his point, but then more relaxed.
They didn't see that coming. Like, you know what? This is 1 million.
Yeah.
When we get to school, we'll be schoolmates. But on this 1 million, this is where I want to.
And at one point, he had this look like, babe, chill, relax.
Like, now we will. Aren't we in this together? Because I was watching Paula from where I was. I wasn't in the green room as at yesterday, and I was watching. At the point, I was like, girl, calm down, because at a point she was literally almost shouting her point, and you could see she put everything into that argument. I'm not going to talk about the running joke that we had when we were trying to describe her. Let's leave that alone. If you watched it, you would know, but let's leave that alone. She came with fire.
She indeed came with fire. So let's listen to her a bit.
And gentlemen, I am Chikidi Onyechukwu Paula, a student of Government Science Secondary School, Maitama, and I vehemently disagree with the motion which states that brain drain is the biggest challenge in Nigeria's healthcare system. Having set the stage, let's not take a closer look at the details. First and foremost, underfunding is the real crisis. Nigeria's healthcare system is starved of funds, allocating a pathetic 4 to 5% of its budget to health, which is far below the 15% Abuja Declaration target. How do you expect brain drain to be the cause when you cannot even fix the system that you refuse to fund? In continuation, crumbling infrastructure is the killer. Now, hospitals in Nigeria lack these amenities like electricity, water, and functional equipment. A 2023 budget IT report revealed that more than 70% of primary healthcare centers in Nigeria are non-functional. Therefore, brain drain is not the cause, but it's this that is the cause. In continuation, poverty level salaries chase doctors away. Nigerian doctors earn peanuts compared to their contemporaries abroad. A report shows that over 90% of Nigerian doctors are dissatisfied with their pay. Why would they be dissatisfied with their pay? Thereby, this systemic injustice is the root cause, not brain drain. In continuation,
why would they not be? They're not paid enough. I feel like one of our parents should be a doctor who brings this thing home.
I was caught somewhere. Where Kim had to find out from her to say, "Are you talking from experience?" Because your speech is sounding more like what you went through. And there is nothing she had said, unfortunately, which is not true. Are we talking about primary healthcare infrastructure? Not even in Nigeria. Let's look at even the FCT, as it were. We were still in this Abuja where an organization came to Zone 4, a particular hotel in Zone 4, to recruit Nigerian doctors and nurses.
Yeah. I think it came from Saudi Arabia.
Yes, Saudi Arabia to do that. Then also you also want to look at it, if not that the FCT minister some months ago also decided that most of these health workers should be paid. They went on strike. Just 2 days ago, we also saw that President Tinubu came out to say the health workers are automatically employed. It's 770 something of them, and then went on to give a nice gesture to people who are going through dialysis to say the money should be splashed by 80%, leaving it from 50,000 per session to 12,000. And the hospitals were listed, like UCH Ibadan, FMC Abuja, and other hospitals where he listed. So these are the issues. Is there a better way to say it than from a 16 or a 15-year-old girl to have
13 actually, according to the record.
13-year-old girl to have brought out this massive revelation to say it's in your face.
So there you have it. The 10 of them will get to our quarterfinals, and when we get to the semi-final, before we get to semi-finals, we'll be presented with 5 of them. We've decided if we do not get a clear-cut marginal difference in their numbers, the last 2 with the weakest number would have to slug it out and do a presentation to earn, so that one person will earn his or her place in the semi-finals. The semi-final has to just be 4 of them.
4 people, 2 sets of debates.
Yeah, and then the finals, just 1. All 5 of them will represent the federal capital in Lagos. However, one person will go home with 1 million. Another person will go home with 500,000. And then the third person will 250,000. But they will all get consolation prizes. And we've been handing out a number of them already. Victor Sanchez from Madela said, please, why can't you vote from Facebook? I don't have the chance to vote that lady from Olumowo School. I hope I spelled it well. Okay, Miriam from... What's that hospital?
Miriam Chiwaran from Olumowo, yeah. So is it that you want to vote via poll?
It's not even... except if you're saying you want to vote via polls that we put on X every day, just to know that you're participating and all that. But the entire results come from the judges. But the only one where you get to vote would happen very soon.
The playoffs, if we do not get a clear winner between them. Ngozi from Apo says, next week, Hoto for the debaters. I can't wait. Debaters, please come with your A+ game and every. God bless you guys. Yes, we're setting the stage because they need to know. We're talking about 1M here also. You cannot give us. How did that boy say you want a 5G on a 2G? You cannot give us 50 kobo debate on a 1 million naira payoff. It can't work. Thanks for the short audio on the successful debaters. The work at the back end is enormous. Thank you guys. Sael, Somi, Kim, you're doing wonderfully well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where are the overrated private school? We're not doing that with you in Abuja. Why are the students not participating in the debate? Parents are paying very high fees for okay, you call them overrated, we don't think so. Maybe it didn't get to them early enough. The FCT should do something about fees charged by private schools in Abuja. Regards, Emmanuel. Perhaps the next round would start, the campaign early. Because the number of schools, even though we dropped...
That's the third season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still didn't send any entry. And then we started seeing entry when the debate had kicked off. And like, who is this?
It's almost like, it's like there's fire. Let's go.
But there was some comments as to some sort of, I don't know now, because when you use the word bureaucracy, you would think public, public institutions, public schools and all of that. There were some comments as to some, let me use the word, processes, some bottlenecks in terms of processes when it comes to private schools. Again, it is left for the private schools to come out and say, oh, no, we can come out. We don't need to go through there, or you don't need to go through this person or this person before you get participation from us. But I mean, we will play our part, just like you have said, Kim, by putting out the word and letting people know that, okay, the next season is starting. We'll do it really, really early. Hopefully, if there are any bottlenecks, you can communicate to us and we'll figure out how to go around the bottlenecks. But we need much more widespread participation from schools all across the FCT. I mean, in terms of spread, to some extent, I mean, we got from El Baraka, it's in Suleja, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a good thing you mentioned El Baraka, because Adebara Ode says, I love the update on the debate. 91 guy, but Kim, why is this school's name constantly ringing in my head? El Baraka.
El Baraka. It's because he reminded you how to pronounce the name.
You like put some respect on the name. El Baraka.
So I mean, Karu was represented, Tungamaje, Meitama.
Yes.
We had Kuba at some point, I believe. Spirit Town was. So in terms of how far across Abuja,
if you look at it from FCT,
we got
and look at the area councils, I think just 3 area councils were left out. If you look at it from that point, to say Kuje Area Council and where again?
Kwali
and Abaji. Yeah.
So spread was good, but in terms of participation from the schools across that widespread we definitely would hope to see more improvement. Yes.
And I think for the season 3, we'll do a live audition, because there were a lot of entries that were sent. A lot. I mean, Somi and the Billionaire were the screening committee.
And Mrs. Eberebe as well.
Yeah, and Joy Eberebe screened it. And, last minute you get like, how did you wow us in your entry and then you're acting this way? So a lot of people would do, in short, take 10 and give us the best, but they can't defend it at the end of the day. So perhaps we would consider a live audition next time around. Just show yourself from the jump. Honestly speaking, the last 2 debaters increased call tariff rate successfully confused and convinced me yesterday, to the extent that I didn't know where to belong. They really understood why they were in the studio, and I believe they must have given the panel of judges a serious work to do. Obviously, we're going to have good representation in Lagos this time. Thank you, Nigeria Info, for giving us this. Elder Olatuja Richard from Ushafa sent that one in. Do we have time to just take calls? Maybe 2, 3?
Okay.
Maybe 2.
All right. So any thought, any opinion, any thing whatsoever? You can call us 0700 951 0000, 0809 5974 869, or you can just call via WhatsApp on 0809 99 30137.
I beg to differ.
What are you differing on? You need to mind your diction also.
Opponent. Yes, I'm learning this now,
Yes,
Kim.
now.
Opponent, not opponent, opponent.
Opponent.
Yes, yes, I'm learning new English. No, like this. I have to go back to school.
Ah. Well, it's a
In
good thing that
fact,
people are learning. Aside from the debaters, that
yes,
people are learning every day.
yes. Honestly, we are learning. This radio station, is a Magra Takada. Radio Magra Takada. Allah, those children yesterday they finished work. Oh.
Good to know.
They finished work, but I could not finish it. I didn't know the end. The winner between two of them. But I think two of them. Yeah, no. Allah, they finished work. They finished work. Are they from the same school?
No.
Two different schools.
Okay, two different. Science school and the other. They finished work. In fact, may God bless them. God bless Nigerian Fuel Station for us.
Thank you
for
very
giving
much.
us all this. Help us to, Thank you. This is Edabang Buchi.
Thank you.
I appreciate.
Thank you, Elda Bangboshi. And Can Excel, the winner of season 1, joined them to Lagos. Last year in Lagos, winners of the previous seasons participated. The girl that won Excel is a champion of one of the seasons in Lagos. And I think Excel will improve more with time. But this set is hot, actually. But then, like you said, remember, it was the first national in Lagos. So the winners could. But Excel has already gone in to the national. Just like the other participant in the national cannot go back in. And let's just root for the ones we have right now to impress us. I don't think there's room. But if by any chance the secretariat at the national decide we can accommodate that, by all means, we'd love that to happen. Let's hear this caller. Hello? Yes, welcome.
Yeah, my name is Chigo, the Iroko.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I greet all of you. Sahel.
Yes.
Why are you smiling now? Somi, how are you?
I'm well, Chigo. Welcome.
I must to commend you guys in the studio there. You are doing great. Well, the one concern me, the last, those last two debaters. In fact, the one that, the one that moved the motion, that first one, I think that was what I was debating with my people in the office there. I said, we need to pay more. If these people are increasing their tariff, it's because of the situation we are in it, which everybody knows. In fact, a lot of them are running in diesel. If you put the meter there, if you put the meter there, you think of the one we are running in our house. Talk of that one that runs 24 hours. So all these things, understand, make them, where are they getting the money from? So to me, in fact, that one, I give that one for that. So please, we need to consider it and check and look back. If we are not paying more, we should not be.
So you needed a 13-year-old boy to convince you.
And he was thoroughly convinced.
Honestly, I love people where at that point they don't want to part with more money, but they're like, that makes sense, Sha. I think I thought I concluded that tariff should not be increased, but now I'm confused. I need to go home and rethink. Kids, they killed it. Engineer Jerry from Wuse Zone 3, and that made it a brilliant debate that people can actually ponder for a minute to say, "Kai, not true, Sha."
Let me pay more. No. Let me go home and think about it.
Well, hopefully we're going to see way more of those kinds of that have you second-guessing yourself as we go into the quarterfinals.
Indeed. They've been handed their topics, and I'm sure all through the weekend they will be working, researching, and hoping to God that they make the 1 million naira. The sad thing is, it has to be one person that will make the 1 million. But it's all good. At least we know that we'll have good representation in Lagos. So we spelled out the rules. You know what to expect. Once again, we'll say a very, very, very big thank you to our sponsors, Hamzat Lawal, Connected Development, Follow the Money, who supports education and girl child education, giving us the prize money. Infinity Trust Mortgage Bank, providing shelter, not just in the federal capital, but in a number of states, giving us the second place prize money of $500,000. 313 Bureau de Change is giving us the third place prize money. And we've had incredible support from Kolia Angel Nigeria Limited, Happiness Computers. Kolia Angels has been handing out telephones to particularly those from the round of 16. They've been getting that prize money. And there's something. And then we've been getting Okay, let's go on a break then. Well,
Info.
Nigeria